Hello, and welcome to VOD of Consciousness. I'm your host, Sientir, and I'm deciding to use that introduction for some reason. You can support me at patreon.com/Sientir, or just by letting people know about the stuff that I do. And it's time to have the final confrontation with Raiko. So, Miku just kind of summarizes his stuff, and at this point, it's time for the final confrontation. So she says, "It's finally time. We need to put a stop to this before things can get any worse. I can't do this without you. Are you ready? Let's finish this." The final confrontation. And here we are. We are in a unique island, kind of off on its own. So this is kind of neat. I'm going to go ahead and screenshot that, though I won't use that for the thing. I believe this may have been a PvP arena. Yeah, this feels like it was a PvP arena. We're going to do that for the actual thumbnail. And now it's time to confront Raiko and Ashu. I'm impressed to see that you've come here. It looks like you've finally grown up enough to stop running from your problems. It's too bad you haven't also gained the wisdom to know when to leave well enough alone. You're right. Maybe I'm not as wise as you. I've stumbled in life, and I've made mistakes, but I've followed my heart and done what I believed to be right. I've learned from the lessons that life has taught me. That's why I know that this has to end. The change begins here and now. Ashu, Raiko has used you. She turned you into a symbol in order to give herself power, to push her own agenda. I remember the days of our youth together. I remember your smile. So tell me, if this is the life you've chosen, then where is your smile now? I think you've said quite enough. So what if he has furthered my ambition? The people need hope. They need a symbol to rally to. I gave them hope, and I gave them the will to fight. What have you offered them? You are just outsiders meddling in the affairs of Cantha. You're just another problem for the Ministry of Purity to solve. That's enough. I believed in your cause at the start of this. I have gone to great lengths to make this world a safer place, and you have turned that against me. You have used the people of Cantha. You have used me. This ends now. I will not allow myself to be used as a pawn ever again, and I cannot allow you to use others. We're beyond the point of settling this with words. Show me the strength of your beliefs." Okay, and now we are in battle. It looks like Raiko makes clones of herself in kind of true Mesmer fashion. Okay, so don't think you can hide. I'm using Promise of Death on Raiko. That does not help me, I don't think. Okay, so we see there's a grand illusion. Find Miss Raiko among her phantoms, bring an end to her ambitions. I understand your words now, and I wish to aid you, should you have us. This is a fight worth fighting, and we need your help. And you need our help. Cantha will be better off once I have purged our lands of foreigners and unwashed peasants like you. Says Raiko. We have a bunch of assassins aiding us. There's a bunch of Raikos. Don't think you can hide. I'm using Promise of Death on Raiko. Sor Honor Claw says, "Honorable friends, you thought to face this battle alone? Your will is... skills. Your will is our blade, and we will stand at your side. It will take more than these savage animals to stop my vision from coming to fruition." I mean, at this point, I'm mostly just trying to keep up pressure against the Grand Illusion, I guess. Some Inkshu Tengu here. Ares, Heart of Fire says, "Looks like we got beaten here by the Tengu and a bunch of peasants. So much for our grand entrance. We'll just get to the point then. The destiny of Cantha is not for one person to shape. It is a path that we all must forge together. Raiko says, your attempt on my life is laughable, and the more of your despicable friends you bring, the more will lay dead on this field. Mika says, don't be fooled by these tricks. I'm using Promise of Death on Raiko. So Eri is somebody that we chose to not kill, and now she is helping us in this battle. So that is fascinating. So there's some Canthan peasants helping us, some Angshu Tengu. Wow, we are piling out the DPS here, I think. Aura of the Lich is probably not helping too terribly much. In retrospect, I'm not sure how much Master of Whispers is really doing. There you are. I'm using Promise of Death on Raiko. Well, I guess there are some dudes going down, so. You mistake our kindness for weakness. That will be your downfall. Aha. Agility. How to make them signets worth more. Okay, let's do something about some of these phantasms. And these ministry zealots. Wow, okay, so suddenly everybody got slammed by damage, apparently. Oh, they were probably grouped up around this ministry zealot. More of the using Promise of Pain on Raiko, which is not, like, the most enlightening bit of dialogue. But there is no stopping my vision. The seed is sown, and the sheep are ready for their shepherd. Strike me down, and I simply become a martyr. Another will take my place. Cantha shall be purified yet. But she's down. Need to get people out of the way so Ashu's pathing can succeed. Minions were body blocking everything. Deep down inside, some part of me always knew that I was being used. As much as it pains me to admit it, I never wanted to be powerless again, not after the afflicted. And yet, that was the life I found myself trapped in, says Ashu. It's over now, Ashu. She can't control you anymore. You can come with me. I know it won't be easy, but we can learn to be a family again. We can make things better. Ashu responds to Miku. Don't misunderstand me, sister. I am thankful for what you've done, but I am not going with you. With Raiko gone, the Ministry of Purity will follow me. I'll never be powerless again. I'll never be afraid again. The people here need me, and they love me. They'll look to me to show them the way. Our lands are in chaos, and only I have been blessed to show them the correct path to walk. I can make things better. I can make Cantha whole again, and I can make it stronger. This is my life now. The people that we were died that day, along with our family. You are just a ghost. But now I am free to move on, free to make things better. I no longer have to walk in Raiko's shadow. I've seen where she has failed, and I have learned. I will not falter, and I must look forward. Go, and don't appear before me again. There is no place here for a shade of a past long since dead. Miku responds, I understand. You've made your choice. If this is how you wish to live, so be it. Let's go, friend. There's nothing more for us here. You know where to meet up with me. So will Ashu make things different, or will the Ministry of Purity continue on its crazy path? Perhaps he'll tone things down, perhaps not. I hope you appreciate that I decided to turn off the pumpkin crown for the final bit there. Yeah. I mean, I like it, but it is perhaps a bit distracting. So, let's go talk to Miku for our reward. 10,000 experience and an Imperial Dragon's Tear, which we can turn in for the spear that I want. Yes. Spears. Ah, we have more people here. We have Airy, Heart of Shadow, Sore Honorclaw, and Shinji. Shinji. Probably Shinji. I don't know. Chinese is weird because my understanding is a bunch of French. Like, the French were the ones who made transliteration for Chinese. And the French idea of how to pronounce letters is not the same as the English idea of how to pronounce letters. So, Mika says, "It's funny, isn't it, that we can fight so hard, that we can do so much? We've saved countless lives, and yet, somehow, it's the hardest thing to save someone from themselves." I want to believe that some of the person that I knew still exists within Ashu. I hope that he can find that again, and grow into a better man, and be a better leader. But I know that I no longer have any part to play in his life. The people do not need to follow him. What happens next is in their hands. Kantha has the freedom to choose its path now, and I have the freedom to walk my own. Through all of this, I've come to understand that the world is a larger place than I had ever imagined. I want to go forward and embrace it, and see where life takes me. There's nothing more exciting than the possibilities that the future can offer. Then why not travel with me? We ask. Miku responds, "Go with you, huh? Well, it is true that you're the only person I've met that can get into as much trouble as I can. We've already overthrown a ruler together. What more could we get into? Overthrowing one of the gods? Heh. Well," we respond. Miku replies, "That was a joke, as if that could ever really happen. All right, I'm sold. From now on, let's travel together. I don't know where it's going to take us, but I'll make sure that we get there in style." It's finally over. I'll admit that I had hoped things would turn out differently, but at least there's closure now. Ashu will live his life as he chooses. In the end, can you really ask for anything more for the ones you care about? And we unlock Miku. Much like a black cat, where Miku goes, trouble follows. The hardships of life have taught her the value of laughter and given her the resolve to make the best of what's around. So, Miku is now an assassin hero that we can use. Isn't that exciting? Do you have anything to say to us, Sora? My people and I owe our lives to you. I hope the damage Raiko caused to our relationship with the Dragon Empire can be repaired, but regardless, know that you always have a home within the Angchu tribe, wherever that home may be. Eri says, "You showed my brothers and sisters remarkable compassion despite our crimes. Many of them rewarded your mercy with violence, and for that I am sorry. I know it hasn't always been apparent, but I believe you made the right decision." And Shinji says, "You have done so much for Kantha, and yet so few will know that. Many will mourn the death of Raiko and look at you as a criminal, but trust that I know the truth, and from this point on, I will dedicate my life to telling your tale." Cool. So, we have officially finished the Winds of Change primary story. So, this calls for going to Kining Center. Yes. And from here... Oh, literally on the opposite side of the map. Sure, that works. So, Lei Zhang over here has some quests. The Ministry of Beauty has been pretty popular lately, but doesn't mean the Imperial Guard isn't working hard as well. So, there are 5 quests here, apparently, that I will want to do at some point, potentially. Imperial Commendations. If you want to read these, you can. Let's see. So I might pursue some of those quests at some point in time, but I kind of want to get to the War in Kryta soon. So, by the way, here's a spot where you can get things like a katana that has inscription slot and stuff like that. It's useful. But I've got more pressing matters. That's a baker. Those pressing matters are, I have a fancy spear to go pick up with this Imperial Dragon's Tear, which uses the same skin as a sapphire, because of course it does. Because of course it does. And I want the enchanting spear. Spear. Yep. 15% while enchanted, cold damage, and enchantments last 20% longer. Thank you. Okay. Now I have my fancy pants spear, and it's time to make these Confessor's Orders useful. So this is going to be for something called the Wherein, and that's what I'm going to be pursuing next. There's going to be a lot of different parts to it, and so for some of that, I actually need to do the Golem user manual stuff. So I might start doing that. I don't know. It's one of those things where like this episode might just be short because anything else is kind of like a gigantic segue off of things. So I think maybe I will just leave this here as just kind of a closer to the Winds of Change main story. And until next time, everyone, take care and goodbye.